I literally just woke up and oh my god. Oh my god. I didn't actually wake up. I woke up at 7, but it's 9:16. The Brooklyn Nets have held a player-only meeting on October 29th to discuss point guard Ben Simmons' performance this season. Sources with direct knowledge of those meetings, but who are unauthorized to speak about it, told The Athletic. So here's what you need to know. The team's level of aspiration towards Ben Simmons bubbled to the surface when they met after a loss to the Indiana Pacers. Veteran forward Markieff Morris spoke in front of the team about how they need Simmons to succeed and that he has to respond when he deals with adversity on the court. Ben Simmons appeared to take Markieff Morris's words in stride and was responsive and attentive throughout, sources said. Before we continue, what do you guys think of Ben Simmons' performance? What do you guys think of all this information? I'd like to hear your thoughts because this is a weird one. I will admit, I've been trying to be on Ben Simmons' side since this has started. He's missed a year and a half because of back surgery and mental health. It takes a lot longer to shake off the rust, but I want to hear your guys' thoughts. So the Nets have dealt with so much turmoil in the organization with the changing in coaches, the Kevin Durant saga, and now the on and off court controversy with Kyrie Irving, which I'm actually going to be talking about later in a separate video, because now as a Jewish man, I think it's ridiculous what they're doing to my man Kyrie. Okay, I was never offended by Kyrie as a Jew myself. But, well, that's not this video. So on November 1st, they parted ways with Steve Nash after a 2-5 start. They named Jacques Vaughn as the interim head coach. And then The Athletic reported that the franchise was planning on hiring suspended Boston Celtics head coach Ime Udoka. The reported plan for the Brooklyn Nets was to hire Ime Udoka, but that drew criticism because Boston suspended the coach in September for the season due to his intimate relationship with a female member of the Celtics organization, The Athletic reported. The Nets changed course from their initial plan to hire Ime Udoka and promoted Jacques Vaughn, KU alumni, to head coach on November 9th, my sister's birthday. On the court, the Nets have struggled to a 6-9 record. Granted, they have gone 4-4 with Jacques Vaughn. And Ben Simmons made his return from back surgery, made to play in the early part of the season, but recently missed 8 days to have his left knee drained because of fluid. After beginning the season as the starting point guard, the Nets moved Ben Simmons to the backup center spot in the last 4 games, and marks the first time he has come off the bench in his 7th NBA season. He was a late scratch in the Sunday night loss to the Lakers, with the team citing left knee soreness as the reason for his absence. The early season stretch has merely been the latest of a setback over the last 2 years of injuries, health, and mental problems for Ben Simmons. So what is Ben Simmons saying? In discussion with The Athletic, Ben Simmons acknowledged the criticism that he knows is coming his way. Quote, "You're obviously not going to be happy when everyone's out. But for me, I've been dealing with the knee since the start of the season. It's been swollen. I had PRP injections. I've had blood drained a couple times. So it's not a made up thing, it's a real thing. I get the skepticism, but I think the one thing with me is that I'm a competitor. I want to play and win. So I'm gonna do what I can to get out of there," is what Ben Simmons told The Athletic. Now, I don't know what is going on. So the Brooklyn Nets were embarrassed on national television after falling 153 to 121 to the Sacramento Kings. And we have all these questions surrounding Ben Simmons. Okay. And he not only didn't play, look, let's talk about this. Ben Simmons for the season, it's been interesting because tonight against the Kings, he actually played well. He had a steal, 3 assists, 5 rebounds, and 11 points compared to the rest of the season. 5 of 7 shooting, the most points he had scored since June 14, 2021, while adding 5 rebounds and 3 assists. Yes, it's frustrating with Ben Simmons' lack of availability being a major issue for the Nets, not to mention his lackluster play whenever he is on the court. And yet the Nets desperately tried to save their season by firing Steve Nash, and they're trying to resolve the Kyrie Irving controversy that shouldn't be a controversy. But according to multiple sources with direct knowledge about the situation, they told The Athletic that the frustration surrounding Simmons has been building in recent weeks within the organization. The coaching staff and players have been concerned about his availability and level of play, with some questioning his passion for the game, those sources said. But even when he does play, Ben Simmons' struggles in his first 9 games this season were part of the Nets' struggle as well. Ben Simmons made his return, as you guys mentioned earlier, in May. Barely played, but at the beginning of the season, as a starting point guard tasked with playmaking and pushing the pace, they had to move Ben Simmons to the backup center spot over his last couple of appearances. And the thing is that it's interesting to think about because the early season stretch has been weird because this is a guy who was left the Sixers with back problems that he was vomiting from pain. Isn't that crazy? People don't talk about that. He had such bad back problems that it left him vomiting from pain and sidelined him for the 2019-20 regular season to his ill-fated finish against the Atlanta Hawks. But he sat out last season while dealing with mental health stuff, and he went on to miss the playoffs due to back issues stemming from a herniated disc. And this is a familiar thing. His coworkers questioned his professional desire. It's the one that he knows that he can't control. And I think this is a great quote. There's only so much I can really do about perception. You can't make people believe, you know? They weren't there when I was on the floor and couldn't walk because of his back. And they weren't there when I was in an ambulance getting taken to the hospital after the February 22nd, 2020 game at Milwaukee. People weren't there, so they don't know. This was the first episode I had against Milwaukee. That was the original trigger of it, right before COVID, the start of my back issues. But that's part of my journey. There's times when I couldn't walk. I had a dead foot. Couldn't sleep. A lot of stuff was going on with me physically to where it was tough. But there's only so much I can say for someone to believe, you know? Ben Simmons said. When it comes to the latest physical challenge, Simmons said, also, I'm pretty sure it said Simmons in journalism. I'm pretty sure this is not correctly written. His ailing left knee has required near constant care while the back has vastly improved. So the question is right here, with these latest physical struggles, like how will they get it? Because the Nets, meanwhile, desperately need Ben Simmons to regain his all-star form, especially considering the chaos that he's enveloped the team outside of the situation. From the departure of the head coach Steve Nash on November 1st, the indefinite suspension of Kyrie Irving, the team has dealt with so much turmoil this season. And the Nets winning 6 of 10 games under head coach Jacques Vaughn is, better than before. They're searching for consistency and winning rotation. And Kevin Durant's playing at an MVP level. You don't want to not be Seth Curry and Joe Harris, who have gone in and out of the lineup due to nagging ailments. Joe Harris has got awful this season. My teeth hurts. But as I mentioned, they had that player-only meeting. And sources tell that the team officials and teammates have been in regular contact with Simmons about how to make him comfortable. The 3-time All-Star is averaging career lows across the board in his return to action from not playing at all last season, averaging 5.2 points, 6.2 rebounds, 5.9 assists, and 27.3 minutes over the 9 games. He's coming off the bench the last 3 games, as Vaughn has gone with much improved Nic Claxton and Simmons as Claxton's backup. Claxton's having a breakout year, averaging 11.9, 9.1 rebounds. Still, Simmons has shown flashes of brilliance on the floor and the all-around efforts that made him a two-way star. And Jacques Vaughn said it's all the consistency right there. So the Nets have a $72 million payroll out of their lineup with Kyrie and Simmons not playing. So creating a tall task for a sustainable winning culture. But Royce O'Neal, Edmund Sumner hopefully can continue to impress.